y'all ever try to watch a movie with somebody and like you spend all this time getting ready and like you get the setup going, you get the snacks going, you sit down, you're like, let's start this motherfucking movie, and you push that play button, and then the instant the movie starts, like, oh, I gotta get up and get a glass of water.
I am that person. Why are you attacking me?
Or, ooh, I need to call somebody. Okay. Oh, God. I went to stretch my legs out, my knee just popped. Damn, 30. Shit's happening. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Okay. Okay, it's time. Hello and welcome to YASEcast. This is episode 5, and I'm going to be real honest with you right up front. Gonna be a bit of a different episode today. Normally we talk about what's been going on kind of with ourselves, what we've been watching, what we've been doing, and just something interesting that's going on in our lives. We're recording right now on April 21st, a Tuesday. The FGC had a pretty shit weekend, and I don't think any of us right now really want to talk about it. So we're going to talk about something else. We kind of just wanted to tell a collection of stories. Maybe it's things about each other, how we met ourselves and our involvement in fighting games, whatever. I don't really care. Today's actually my birthday, and y'all can go eat a dick because this is what we're going to do today, and I'm kind of stoked about it. Join with me today. With us today, we have Morgan.
What's up? What the fuck?
We have Velius.
What's up?
And we got Snooze.
Hello, it is me. It is
him.
I feel like I just got baited because you were all like,
no, you didn't get baited. It's just like, you know what? It's like gonna break format because the weekend really sucks. If you're involved in the FGC, if you listen to this podcast, you probably hear about most bigger things that happen in fighting games.
or you're my girlfriend.
So you already know what's going on. What's that?
Or you're my girlfriend.
or you're dating Morgan, which, hey, not bad.
Could be worse. No, because like,
but yeah, I kind of. Oh, go ahead.
well, because like this morning you were like, I don't know if I want to talk about this or not, and then we decided not to, and that's like exactly what you lead off on. I'm like, I don't know where the birthday boy is going with this, but we're gonna follow him at least for the next like 3 hours. It's still his birthday.
Exactly. I still have you, at least in my time zone, I have 3.5 hours pretty much.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a 3.5 hour long episode of YASEcast. That's right. No, dear God, no. But yeah, I mean, through some weird collection, through some weird way, we all kind of found Yase. And I think that's kind of where I want to start off is how did all of you kind of find Yase? Obviously, I mean, Velius and myself are the two newest additions. Morgan's been around a little bit longer than us, but Snooze, I think you've been here since pretty much the beginning.
I think Jarv, Jay, Morgan, and I, yeah.
The Assassin's Guild.
Oh, and David, the CEO.
David.
I wish we could get David in on this. I wanted so bad for him to come on tonight, but it just was not in the cards.
David is a
Dad life,
mysterious
bro.
Yase boss.
Makes everything hard.
Am I the only one that's
So-
actually met David? I think I still am.
You met
I think
David?
so.
I don't think David's real. I've seen 1 or 2 pictures of him.
No, David's real. We
But
got
I'm
around.
still like, this is just someone's alter ego. Like, I don't think it's.
No, I
Just
Yeah,
saying.
David is actually our AstroTurf account that is run by whoever happens to be online at the time.
it's actually Jar.
We are all David.
I almost
my
so
gosh.
I was actually really mad about I mean, speaking of like old Yase related stories, I guess David lived in Chicago for a long time, and I can't remember, like, I think he used to go to UFGT. I know he used to go to UFGT and stuff. I can't remember the exact like order of events, but I went to UFGT 9, and I think he didn't go to that one, or maybe we just didn't know each other at the time. But so we did not meet at UFGT 9, and then I want to say I skipped UFGT 10 for like whatever reason, and somewhere in between there we met, and he had gone to that one. And I was like, well, fuck, I wish I would have gone now. But I was like, whatever, we're gonna go to the next one, which I think UFGT 10 was the last one, and so then Combo Breaker 1 was
Mhm.
like the next year.
Yeah. That
And
sounds right, I think.
so I was
that's
like,
X.
it's
That was
whatever.
X.
Like, we're going to Combo Breaker, we'll just meet David next year. And then he's got to go move to Texas to be near his family because he's having children.
Ooh. Ooh.
So I missed my chance.
Which, set the stage for me to be the only person that can confirm that David is real, because I happened to have a conference in Texas, and I was like, hey, David, what's good? And it's like, well, there's like this ramen place if you get out of the tourist area. So we sat and complained about working for the government and got ramen for a while, and it was extremely chill.
Hell yeah.
David and ramen.
Man, we should just there's got to be some just dirt cheap land out in Texas. We could start a Yace commune.
We can have
A big bunch of dirt and shitty buildings, and we can go and we can all live there in Texas, and we can open up cans of beans with mall katanas. Which I still do you remember that story?
Yeah, David is an angel.
Yeah, so we were talking about it was in Discord. There was talking about we were talking about bands, actually. That's what it was. We were talking about random bands and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, well, I actually have a connection to this band. I used to live with I think it was the lead singer or lead guitarist. I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember the name of which band it was. But he's like, yeah, I used to live with them, and it's like, yeah, we had nothing in our kitchen. We used to open up cans with swords." And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I need you to go back real quick and tell me what you mean. So he's like, yeah, well, we didn't have a can opener, which you can get can openers then. Whatever. Besides the point. So yeah, so we just, we had this sword, and we would just cut open. That's how we would open cans. And the first thing that I thought was the mental image I had was someone standing with a sword pointed straight down and just slamming it down to the top of this can, and then just putting a straw through the hole. I'm like, yeah, that's how I eat my beans. I don't know why, but that's the mental image that I had.
The forbidden bean juice.
It's
God,
almost.
I want to meet Dave so fucking bad.
One day.
I
didn't want to meet you really bad, because you're the only person that I haven't met in real life, and ever since you joined, I've been cut off from the Ace Force.
I know. I have to meet. So I mean, obviously David, but Morgan and Velius, we haven't. I haven't met either of you yet, which really sucks. Yeah. I think the first person from Yace that I really met was probably actually you, Snooze. I think it was at Frosty Fastings last year, which was funny because I met Frosty. I'm just I think it was night 0 essentially. Yeah, it was. And I'm just I posted a dumb pic on Twitter of fuck this shit, I'm going out in shorts, and it's just me pointing down at these shorts I was wearing. And so I'm just walking around, and then someone says, "Hey, are you Lamo?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's up? I'm Snooze." And it's I knew it was you because of the shorts.
The fit don't quit.
Yeah, and then I played a bunch of Third Strike that night for probably the first real time ever. Which I feel is the appropriate thing to do after meeting you for the first time, is play a bunch of Third Strike.
I like that game.
It's a pretty good game.
It's a good fucking game. God, that whole event was that was actually. So I also saw Jay there, but I'd never for whatever reason Jay and I hadn't interacted a ton, and I was intimidated to go talk to Jay because he was
Meanwhile, Jay is drunk and
he
in
knows
Rakava
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm I don't know. He was just always surrounded by people. I'm I have a hard time going up and introducing myself to people. So I wasn't oh, hey, I am Lamo. It's super cool to meet you. I just feel I don't want to feel I'm trying to latch on to people. I don't know. Because the same thing also happened at that event. I mean, not a Yace person, but with Ryudo. And if you've ever met Ryudo, he's the nicest, sweetest man in the world.
He is.
And it took me someone to be oh, hey, we were talking on Twitter at the event. And I was nervous to go up and talk to him. Which in retrospect is so silly.
He's one of my favorite people. Full stop.
He's so fucking good.
Absolutely adore that man.
I had a work trip that brought me out to Denver last year, and we ended up hanging out for a night, him and his girlfriend, and we ended up going out to get dinner. and then playing a bunch of board games. And then I was like, okay, well, we're all heading out, and I was about to go like call like a Lyft to get home. And he's like, no, we'll just give you a ride. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. And then we started talking about how who would be the scariest celebrity to get beaten by in fighting games, which now I actually want to put that question onto all of you. And then I'll tell you my answer once we get some of yours. But who would be the worst celebrity to get bodied by? And the important thing here is to think about what their pop-off would be. Who do you really just not want to get clowned on the main stage by?
Oh, well, what are we saying as far as like celebrity? How famous do they have to be? It doesn't matter. The answer is Pete Buttigieg.
Oh.
Because he wouldn't pop off. He would just be like, there'd be like a little fist pump, and he'd be like, good game. And it'd be this little shit, this absolute little shit. He's popping off internally. He thinks he's fucking nice, but he's not.
Bro, I hate that. I
feel
actually,
that.
this is a little bit off topic, but I lost.
This entire episode is off topic. Dog. You're good. It's the most off topic episode ever.
I lost in a tournament, one of the last like tournaments we had before like the whole shutdown and everything. And like it's a guy that like he shows up to Don sometimes, and like I'm not gonna say like I just like fuck this guy up, but I definitely beat him more than I lose, And so I lost to him in this tournament that we ran, and afterwards I was just like, fuck, I hate losing to people like that, because like because I feel that way when I beat somebody that have trouble against, they're like, yeah, like I fucked him up, I beat that guy.
I'm fucking nice. Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh god damn it, like I let him have it, like this sucks. But he's a really nice guy. Like it was just like one of those like in the moment things. I was like, man, fuck that,
Yeah, I hear you. I get that if I'm playing sometimes, and it's like I'm playing against someone. I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like I'm not really like 100% invested in the match, and they take a round off me, and I see them like kind of like look over at me to like see what my reaction is, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm like, I can see out of my peripheral, and I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not giving you satisfaction.
Yeah, 'cause you just know they're like, GG got him.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm fucking going all out now. I'm gonna body the shit out of you. Yeah, I've been there. Velis, do you have an answer? Who do you not want to get bodied by, or just beaten by? I guess.
I never want to be beaten by Enrique Iglesias.
Ooh.
Yeah, why him of all people?
Because he can start singing songs after he wins, and he probably would.
Oh.
All right. So my answer was Steve Harvey.
Ooh.
Because if you whiff a DP, if you whiff a DP and he like crush counters into 50% and kills you, the exact look he's going to give you. He's going to give you the fucking strongest look of your goddamn life, and you're going to feel like the world's biggest idiot. And the crowd's going to that shit's going to get clipped, and you're going to see pictures of that on your fucking Twitter for like years. You're never going to be able to escape that shit.
You think he would also throw in a survey says joke?
Yeah. The survey says, "Oh, what's the number one move I thought you were gonna throw out?" And bam, it was that fucking DP, idiot. Like it's y'all have seen him on The Price is Right. The man is brutal.
88 contestants responded.
We surveyed 100 people at this tournament, and they all answered that you were gonna DP.
That you were free as shit. That's it. It starts playing the fucking music when it went dun 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 dun. Come on down to losers bracket, stupid.
Oh my god.
You thought this through.
I'm telling you, Steve Harvey.
You really thought this through.
Steve Harvey. Me and Rito just came to this conclusion. It's like, no, it's Steve Harvey, because you know that look he's gonna give you, and you can like it can be a close first game, but he gives you that look, and you are mentally crushed. You are mentally guard broken. You have nothing going into that second round, that second match. It's over. It's over.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh,
Actually.
I would hate that. You know what he would do?
I hate that guy.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And I also know that I feel like he would stand up. He'd like come around after the match and be like, in his stupid I'm smarter than you explain a guy voice. You know why you lost there is because, and I'd just be like, I don't know. I probably would just like walk away and roll my eyes, but I would be really mad about it. I'd be upset.
He would walk around like and follow you. It's like, well, that move you did, like the frame data says that it's minus this whatever, and the moves that I did, it's like just really explicit. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
That move's actually +2, so you can't push a button there.
It wasn't actually your.
If you had ever looked up the frame data, sir.
I've got this now. I'm trying to imagine like other celebrities that would suck to lose to, and I'm trying to imagine like the Chance the Rapper pop off where he just somehow makes it about his wife.
All right. Who's the bigger wife guy? Is it Chance the Rapper or Dracula?
Definitely Chance.
Dracula.
What if Chance the Rapper was a vampire? Does this change your answer?
Honestly, I don't know that much about Chance the Rapper except he's from Chicago.
I know nothing about him.
And he had at least one good album that I liked.
There you go.
I like 3 of them, but then also he's like, the meme now is just that he's a wife guy. But anyway, all right, Puppet Master, what's the next prompt for us now that we've talked about what celebrities we don't want to lose to?
I don't remember where I was even going with that. I just kind of got sidetracked into other stuff. Oh yeah, something like Frosty that year. But God, like how? Yeah, I was like nervous to meet Jay, which is funny because like at Combo Breaker, I guess also that same year, last year, it's like there was a point where I was outside and I was like calling like my girlfriend. She's like, oh hey, like how's it been going? Blah 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 blah. Jay just runs in from like the golf course. And he just runs over and he like jumps onto me and gives me a hug. Out of like while I'm talking to my girlfriend, I'm like, all right, cool.
That sounds like something he
Combo
would do.
breaker. Yeah. And then I don't know if that was before or after he was passed out by the ATM. But
Also sounds like Combo Breaker.
yeah, also sounds like Combo Breaker. I don't know how I haven't gotten like real drunk at Combo Breaker.
Even I've been real drunk.
There have been people from my scene who have gotten very, very, very drunk at Combo
I mean,
Breaker.
it's kind of a meme, but not everybody has that experience.
I've had
That's
it.
true.
It was unfortunate.
I don't think I really drink that much anymore.
Yeah, I did not think I was either, but like it crept up on me. Basically, like I was already pretty good, and then somebody passed me a water bottle and said, "You've got to drink this so this other person doesn't drink it because they've already had too much." So I drank.
That's like something someone says in college to a girl they're trying to get with.
Yeah,
That's scary.
Yeah, it was not a great experience because I did drink it, and what's the term that people throw it around? It wasn't juice. It was like one of the other like not like competing ideas. But yeah, it was just like
punch.
it was booze. Yeah, I was gone, and I have like little memories of being there. And one of which is I met Drifter Dane by grabbing his gold burst. And then he looked at, and he told me like he looked over like, wow, that was smart. I'm like, of fucking course it is.
I'm the smartest.
And I don't remember much else. I don't remember getting back to my room. I just remember grabbing that gold burst and he hit me.
I think my other big memory from that year at Combo Breaker 2 was fucking Gamer Camp. God.
What is the
Gamer
story?
Camp
What is
was-
Gamer Camp? I've only
Okay.
heard the meme.
Okay, so this was after Grand Finals ended. Like Combo Breaker was essentially over and like they had closed up the ballroom. So we went to whoever's like suite it was. And we were just like playing some games and shit like that, just chilling out for a bit. So it's like probably like 2:00 in the morning or so. And we're all like, and Jay's like, okay, like y'all gotta start like heading out. Like it's, it's getting late. We gotta go to bed. It's like, okay. So, we're just kind of all talking and leaving. And somehow we got on like the idea of like, we were talking about space camp and how it's like everyone wanted to go to space camp when they were a kid. And it's like, fuck, man. Like I would absolutely have done that shit. If space camp was a thing now, I'd probably be like, hell yeah, send me to fucking space camp. Then be like, oh wait, I'm an adult. I can just pay for myself. Fuck y'all. Then I was like, well shit, it's 2019. Kids they won't have space camp anymore. Now they probably have some fucking gamer camp. And then I started cracking the idea of gamer camp, and it's like, man, I can't believe my mom's sending me away to gamer camp for the summer. And it's just like someone, oh yeah, White Beast was there, and he was just like, it's like salute your shorts, and he's like, wait a minute, salute your low shorts, and then just like,
Okay, that's pretty good.
we started laughing in the way that you only can at like something that's really not funny, but it's like 2 or 3 o'clock.
Like this
so you're
podcast.
just like very sleep deprived. Yeah, like this podcast. But yeah, that was like the funniest fucking thing, and I could not stop laughing to the point where like I couldn't fucking breathe, and all I could just think about was like sending people. So at first it was like a fun summer camp, and then it was like, you've committed a crime, prisoner. Now you're going to gamer camp. You're being sent away to the gamer mines to work
gulag.
for the rest of your sentence. Yes, the gamer gulag. Oh, that's even better.
Oh god, we just made Limo stronger.
Oh, you fools!
This is our gift to you. Happy birthday.
If you say gamer camp 3 times into a mirror at midnight, I come through and I'm incredibly sleep deprived, and I won't stop talking about dumb shit.
That's the secret.
I won't stop. I come through a mirror and I won't stop laughing at my own jokes.
And you're equipped with a PVM and a CPS2 board.
Yes. You have to play 50 matches of Super Turbo.
I don't know.
That's like all of 10 minutes.
Yeah. God. I love that fucking game so much.
I think the last time... Oh, sorry. Continue.
I was going to say, if this is a hot tip to any listeners out there. If you ever want to volunteer at a major and you don't want to do like, you want to sign up for like a bunch of shifts or whatever, just volunteer for the fucking retro games. Volunteer for like 3S, ST, and VSAV. I ran 2 VSAV pools at Combo Breaker, and it was like 16 person brackets. It was done in like 45 minutes at most. It goes so fucking fast. Also, you gotta watch VSAV, and that game's cool as shit to watch. But oh my god, it's the fastest fucking game of all time.
Third Strike can take a little while, but we're usually still done before our 2-hour time limit.
Yeah, I mean, out of the 3, it probably takes the longest, but that's still not a lot compared to like other games.
Yeah, that 45 minutes for like the VSAV pool though, like that's like no joke. Typically, they still give us like a 2-hour slot for Vampire all the time, but you're always done by like halfway through generally. Oh
yeah, and even then, that was also with like the stream runner was like, hey, just give us all of your matches. I was like, all right, cool, that works. Because yeah, like they're pushing through like the brackets so fucking fast. It's like, yeah, we need to have things to put on stream. So anyway, what were you gonna say before I went to my side tangent about VSAV?
Oh, I was gonna say the last time I think I got like really zonked at an event was Raj a couple of years ago, and it was like totally an accident. I just I made one drink back in the room, and then the people who were running Third Strike showed up. I was like, oh, like I got to get another drink for this tournament real quick, and I just was like, it's kind of one of those like I just threw it together and it was just like stronger than I thought, and like the tournament's starting and we got all these like CPS3 boards around. It's like, well, I don't want to leave this laying around. Like I guess I got to finish this, so I just kind of like killed it, and then like it was bad for my tournament performance. I definitely passed the Balmer peak on that one.
I love that you could have just ended that story at, I made myself a drink, and then all the Third Strike guys showed up. Then it's like, oh no.
Yeah, it was like pretty bad though. I definitely like I went off to play like I know I went to play DDR at some point, but like I don't actually remember playing DDR, so I'm sure that I was really getting the perfect attack on Healing Vision, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
It was probably a AAA.
Oh man, that's like when I play Poppin' drunk, and like eventually I get to a point where it's like, you start playing songs that are slightly harder. You keep moving a little bit up. Then eventually you get to something where it's just like you look at the fucking notes coming down, and you're like, I can't do this right now. Like my body's just locking up in like the weirdest ways, and all my movements get like really rigid. And it's like, nah, it's time to stop. I'm just gonna go find something else that's going on, and I don't know, maybe heckle some people. That sounds good. Let's do that.
That's definitely the inebriated decision making. Like, I'm just gonna go heckle some people. That seems like a good idea. That's a way to make friends.
I mean, honestly, what I've done before. So I was at, it was a regional like tournament. It was like a small little thing over here, and I just had like a shit ton of money on me. Not a shit ton, but probably like 30 or 40 bucks in cash, and like most of it was in like maybe like 10 was in like singles.
That's FGC rich
So I
right
just
there.
go around, just going. I just see
That's
people
like
playing
4
a
money
match.
matches.
I have no clue who these people are. I'm just like $2 on this match to whoever wins. And I'm just like, all right, and I just walk away. That's it.
Wow.
Just like, all right.
I didn't know you were a
Do that a
sponsor.
bunch of times. I actually only did that because someone else in the North Dakota scene came down for one of the tournaments I put on, and he would just go and do that like for Tekken, because he was like a big time like Tekken fan. So he would just go around to like people playing Tekken matches, and he was just like, "Yeah, got $5 in this match," and I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna take your bet. He's like, I'm not betting. Just whoever wins gets $5. And I was like, shit, all right, that's cool as fuck. It's like, damn, that's such a fucking power move, especially if it's like you don't know anybody. It's like, yeah, I like this match. I like this matchup. This is interesting. Here's $5. Whoever wins this one. It's like, damn.
That is incredibly powerful, actually.
Yeah, right. Like that's something that you do, and then people are like, all right, I need to talk to this person. To at the very least, thank him for $5.
I can get a McDouble.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh. So what's the thing that sucks about this? Like I don't care much about competing anymore, because obviously, I mean, the stories that we've been telling, the things we've been talking about most of this recording so far. There's been aside from who's the celebrity that you want to body you the least, like it hasn't been about playing games. It's been about like just hanging out and chilling at events, which is the shit that is really important. It's just like, fuck.
I think that
when are we gonna actually get the chance to do that again, right?
I miss it. I'm at a hard spot right now because, I mean, a lot of this is sort of at least like the structure of the FGC, in my opinion, is kind of weird, where the events in the competition sometimes feel more like conventions, but I feel less desire to compete, and it gets harder and harder if you're not going to compete to want to spend the money to go, to take time off work, to do all that. Because like, let's say you want to hang out with people, like, and then like your friend makes top 32, and it's like, well, now I gotta wait till top 32 is over to be able to go out to eat afterwards. And, the hangout gets more complicated. People have different goals and priorities. So it just sucks. It's like going back and thinking about these things, like those are precious memories. And I love every single one of the people in them. But it's hard to see, like, well, is that going to happen again? One, because of the Rona, and two, because I don't really feel like traveling to compete anymore. I mean, both because like I've had a lot of, social fallout and social burnout that has, really been bad for me in the past like 2 weeks, to the point where I'm like, I'm glad that the thing, well, not glad, but I kind of am relieved.
You don't feel like you're missing out on a ton, given that all the events are being canceled,
and that also that I don't have to make a decision. I don't have to be there and like, do I want to go to Combo Breaker and be around people that are gonna be passive aggressive and ignore me and all that, or and like possibly try to ruin my time. If there's no Combo Breaker, I don't have to make that decision. So, but at the same time,
that's incredibly valid.
Yeah,
that's absolutely incredibly valid.
And it's like the biggest thing for me right now in terms of like even motivation to play games. Like I still like Grand Blue. I have a lot of fun playing Grand Blue, but I'm like, yeah, but like, what is this like building toward? Because like I usually have stuff going on the weekends, so I'm not entering all of these online tournaments like Ronin Rumble or whatever. And if I'm not trying to go to offline events, because I don't know if I'm really welcome in these social scenes anymore for reasons that I don't understand, well then what am I really doing? Yeah, it's a weird spot. But the hangouts are extremely good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where things like Cabin in the Woods like really shine, right? Because it's exactly that. It's like, I just want to hang out with these people that I know from the fighting game community, and maybe we'll play some fighting games. Like, I don't know, but fuck it. I just want to hang out with y'all.
I'm really hoping
that's the important part.
Like, I'm on the list for cabinet. I'm really hoping cabinet still happens. Like, looking at the list of the people that were on there, it's like, it's most of my favorite people in the fighting game community. Like, because like I've met some people that are extremely, extremely good. And, you know, at Frosty Faustings, I think last year, I was having a rough go of it. You know, like my parents live in Chicago. They were being really standoffish on whether or not they even wanted me to be there. Because I'm, ever since I came out as, you know, both trans woman and also as a lesbian, we were not having a good go of it. So like here I am, like 20 minutes living away from my parents, like at this hotel, and they're not returning my calls. So I was a huge wreck. I went 0-2 for the first time, I think ever, in Guilty Gear. And I was just crying in my room, and I get a text from Mr. K, because he saw my sad tweet, and it's like, do you want to come to the BYOC area? I will teach you Sailor Moon, and we can drink Dos Equis.
Aww.
And so he taught me how to play Sailor Moon, and we drank Dos Equis. And it was like those moments and like those people are what really like sell the whole experience to me. And it's like, oh, I miss that. I miss that so much.
Mr. K is such a fucking good dude too.
Solid dude. Solid.
Incredibly
like
solid
that whole
dude.
cohort of like the older Guilty Gear players that tend to be up in the morning and like we go out to breakfast are like, those are the moments I treasure at events. Except for the one time at Frosty Faustings, same event where we went out for breakfast and I couldn't open the car door, and then I found out that the child lock was on, and the whole and it's already bad. It's already bad. But like what makes it worse is the whole time I had been talking about how I'm a doctor. And how I'm so smart that I'm a doctor. And then it's like, yeah, doctor, the child lock is on. And it's like, Ryudo and like Amadeus, everyone in that car has not let me live that down.
Good.
Just like,
good.
It's like I was at Super TSB and I'm rooming with Ryudo. And it's like at least once he mentioned like, that'd be really impressive if I hadn't seen you fail to open a child lock.
Oh my god.
There are two kinds of people in this world. People that fear me and people that have seen me fail to open a door.
I mean that's just karma. I mean
I deserve it.
That was the universe giving you the universe was giving you your comeuppance, and yeah, you kind of deserved that one. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's not to give anyone shit based on their age, but I feel like it's usually more chill hanging out with the people who are like, yeah, I've been going to tournaments for a while, and it's just like, I don't want to stay up drinking all night and partying like some people definitely do. And it's like, fuck it, let's go get breakfast in the morning. It's like, hell yeah.
Yo, those omelets hit different. Like, you got your good fighting game friends. Nobody else is awake. Like, the hotel's basically dead because all the kids are asleep. And you get there, and you got the good omelet. And you got grits, and you're like 2 cups of coffee deep, and you're rolling into the venue right as it opens. Oh, that's a good feeling.
Do you put sugar on your grits?
I'm a savory grit girl. Okay,
same. But how do you take them? I guess how do you do your grits?
How do I do my?
I have a very specific way.
I am a fan of. I mean, grits are really a vehicle for butter and cheese. It's like when I do grits, like it is not healthy, which is why I very rarely do grits. All right, birthday boy, enlighten us.
I thought you were gonna say a specific way. I was like, then I was like, oh,
no, that's it. I'm not picky.
My number one way, and I do this every time. Whenever I'm at a place that does grits and I'm getting them, I always get grits with an over easy egg or sunny side up, but usually over easy. And then I'll take it and I'll cut it up over the grits so the egg yolk gets like soaked up by all the grits. Put a little bit of salt and pepper on there, maybe a little dash of hot sauce.
Ooh.
I am in heaven.
Ooh,
I love that shit.
Oh, that's good grits.
That's basically what I do too.
Hell yeah.
Yes, mine.
It's the
God, grits are
the
good.
bibimbap way.
Yeah. You start
the
mixing
exact same thing with bibimbap. You just, sunny side up an egg right over all that tofu and rice and all the extras that you get with it. Split it open, and you got to let the yolk sink in. You can't just go in immediately. You got to let it soak first.
You can't always be going in. There, we brought this back around to fighting games. You can't always be going in. You can't rush down the eggs. Sometimes you gotta rush down the eggs.
Well, not all the time.
Just saying. But sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you do be rushing them eggs down.
Is like getting that ideal 6-minute egg? Is that footsies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not? What was the what's like the first what's the first tournament y'all went to, and then like what was your first major?
First turn.
Are these like two separate answers that you want?
I mean, if they're one and the same, that's totally fine too.
So the first tournament I went to, I think, was and if Jay ever listens to this, he'll know what I'm talking about. Was some tournament in the basement of Digital Ops, which we called Digislops. And
I love that. I love that so much.
In Ann Arbor. It was during Street Fighter 4. And I somehow went like 3-2 in that tournament. It was wild. But I really like don't remember it was during Evo, the year they had Melty Blood at Evo. So we just had like Evo up on the stream.
Fuck.
And there was like, I don't know, probably 20, 30 people in this way too small little basement and LAN center. And, you know, it smelled like FGC, and we had the tournament.
Hell yeah.
And we ate at TK Woo's for anybody from Ann Arbor, because that place rules. It's like this tiny little Chinese restaurant thing.
I think my first tournament was... It was like a weekly tournament at Ignite Network back at their old Irving Park location. And I showed up and I didn't know anybody and I was super stressed and I played Blanca and people already didn't like me because of that. And yeah, I know, right?
Just
and I ended
slide.
beating this guy who played T-Hawk. And of course I had like no idea what I was doing. I had no idea that like T-Hawk versus Blanca was that bad in that version. And every version.
Yeah.
So like I beat him and like people were like cheering for me because like nobody liked the guy that I was beating. So it was like one of those things like I was part of like a weird social moment where I was like, oh God, there are people watching me. Oh God, I'm winning. And then he was so mad that he lost to me at the end of it. It was an experience. First major I think was Frosty Faustings of some year. I was I think the last one they did at Nickel City. And I remember watching Elven Shadow and Black Snake play grand finals for Plus R. Or no, it's even Plus R at that point. Whatever version it was current for Guilty Gear. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, how does somebody even get this good at a game? Because it was just like, there was something about it. And I think that kind of like set an arc for me in really a lot. Because I liked Guilty Gear aesthetically. But that was the moment where I was like, I really felt like, oh shit, like, I could maybe be good at this game. And according to some people, I am. But I don't think I am.
I feel that.
Yeah, it's always funny. Whenever I think about how... the first time I saw Bears say that he thinks that he's bad at the game, I was like, oh, I understand. No one ever thinks they're actually good. Because that's just how Guilty Gear is. Like the skill ceiling is so high. And even on that day, I'm sure if you had asked Elvin or... Black Snake, like, so are you actually good at this game? They've probably been like, I don't know. Maybe. Probably not.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm decent, I guess.
I feel like that's a standard answer unless someone's like really feeling themselves. It's like, yeah, I'm okay, because you realize like there's so many people out there and like there's always gonna be somebody better than you. I don't know. People just don't usually feel like content, right? It's like, well, yeah, I'm okay, but in the back of it you're thinking of like, yeah, got fucking beat by this dude, lost this tournament, that shit lingers.
Mm-hmm.
Velius, what about you? What do you got?
I have never been to an actual like organized. I can English, I swear. Organized tournament, and I've never been to a major. Mimos this year was supposed to be my first on both of those categories.
Oh
So,
no!
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Michigan Masters.
F's
They're all-
in chat.
Yeah,
F's in chat. Lads.
I was gonna say there won't be a next year for Michigan Masters. There'll always be a next year to go to events.
It's true. Because
That
this
sucks.
year is Dunsky. 'Cause Like all the money that I had saved for that is now gone because of the Rona. So it's, because got to eat and they got to live. So it's like all the money that I had that was supposed to be for Michigan Masters is, just gone towards paying my bills and shit. But I've never done like an actual order. Why am I fucking up this word? Organized tournament. There we go. Like I've talked in multiple spots about my first actual kind of encounter with the FGC was when I was in high school, and a certain vernacular thrown my way for how I live my life was a pretty big reason as to why I said, I don't think I'm going to be going to locals. So I never went.
Been there.
Yeah.
Shit sucks.
So I just never went. And I've always lived in Maryland, and there's really only been a couple places to go, and none of them ever seemed like places that I'd want to be. So I just never did tournament. And
that's how I feel about the one year I went to Evo, and I was like, wait a minute, I fucking hate Las Vegas. why did I come out? Like, I guess part of it was like, it's Evo, want to go at least once. Where I was just like, God, I fucking hate this place. This place sucks.
God, it really does.
It's awful.
It does. It's the fucking worst.
Vegas is an actual just cesspool in the middle of a state that is also a cesspool.
It's not.
Hey, y'all want to go to the desert in like the middle of summer when it's hottest?
Do I?
You want to come? You want to come do that?
I kind of do actually, because the desert is really cool. But like,
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not Vegas.
Vegas isn't even like the real desert. It's you got a bunch of like these weird landmarks that just crop up in the middle of nowhere for some reason.
It's close enough.
I've done some cool stuff. One year at Evo, I went with my partner at the time, and we partially went for me. So like we're like, oh cool, it's Evo, and this is great. And then the couple days prior, we did the Grand Canyon. So like we went out and like rented a car and like did like the actual desert stuff and did some like of the good hiking and all that, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a great way to like get centered beforehand, because that year was eventful for me. Both, I at the time had the partner that I now ex-fiance that I went with, got blackout drunk in the anime suite and ended up spiking my very nice faux hammer wooden stick off the sidewalk while yelling at me for nothing I did.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, that was a memorable way to end that weekend, because like we went to the Grand Canyon, had a great weekend. You broke a very expensive thing of mine while you were blackout drunk because you drank a whole bottle of wine in the anime suite. It wasn't great.
Damn. Is this the legend of how the faux hammer started falling apart?
Yeah, basically she broke it.
Oh,
I would still have a faux hammer
that
if it wasn't for
sucks
that.
so much. Those sticks are so fucking pretty.
I know.
Oh.
That's why I just took all the pieces out and just threw it all like in a metal case this time. So it's like the faux hammer is like together, but it's
there in spirit.
It's there in spirit, but if I keep using it and traveling with it, it was going to fall apart. Like the wood screws that were holding it together were breaking.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
sucks.
It sucks. Where it's like we were like getting dinner with some people, and she just got up, walked away, and was like, "You want to be with your friends, not with me." And then just like, all right, well, like if you want to go like sleep it off, fine. But like my stick is in your backpack, and she just takes the backpack off and throws it on the ground, and it's like, oh fuck. This is where my night is going. Vegas sucks.
Vegas sucks. Vegas does terrible things. So
Yeah.
going back a bit, my first tournament ever that I can actually remember. I'm not actually this. Oh fuck! This was before that. Originally, I was going to say it was those like when Street Fighter 4 launched, there were those like GameStop tournaments, but this was before that. This was my first tournament was for. This is kind of fucking funny to say. I feel like it was for Street Fighter 2 HD Remix.
Jesus.
Are you
was the thing
an
that was
OG?
And it was I'm not one of those 09ers. Oh no, I'm an 08er.
Oh wow, you're so much better than me.
Got him.
But it
OG
was,
status
it was my first
confirmed.
tournament ever, and that's right. It was at an anime convention. And it's really fucking funny too, because like I was like super fucking competitive for it, to the point where I did something that to this day I still have not done for any other event, and that's train before the event for the game that you're gonna be fucking playing. But I was super worried about playing against Claw, because like I had played a few Claws online. I'm like, I'm just getting like bodied. Like I do not get this matchup, and so I just didn't know what to do against the wall dive. And so I had a friend come over, and I was just like, I need you to do me a favor. He's like, okay, what? I'm like, just keep doing wall dive, just over and over and over until I figured out something that fucking beats it. And I figured it out. I was like, all right, cool. I'm playing through this tournament, playing a super cheesy E Honda, and get to grand finals, and it's a guy playing Claw who did a lot of fucking wall dives. I was just like, holy shit, practice actually works. It actually does something. And that's why I never did it again. But I ended up winning, and my prize was some anime collection on DVD that I never watched.
I love anime tournaments.
I was like, hey, here's like season 1 and 2 of was it? Hold on a second. I was hold on, I'm double checking. Yeah, it was of Panapony Dash.
Jesus.
Which I have no clue what that is. I remember that's the name. Don't know any. I couldn't tell you a single fucking thing about it.
I remember it. I want to say it rules,
That's what I
actually.
won. Yeah?
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I want to say it actually rules. Man, anime tournaments are the best because you get to like beat somebody who's cosplaying their character, and it's just.
I played in the Soul Calibur 6 tournament at Youmacon, and it was really close to when it came out. It was really the first like big tournament in Michigan for it, for sure. And so just like a ton of people entered, and lots of like casuals play Soul Calibur. So like nobody pre-regged, but everybody showed up and registered at the door, and it was like 100+ person bracket. And so I was playing Nightmare, and because he's my guy in that game, and he's like the character that everybody complains about every time. Like he's always like mid-tier or bad tier, but like he's kind of easy to play. So every time he comes out, like people are like, oh man, like Nightmare's busted this time, and it's like, well, not really. It's just like if I 3B you, I get 50% because I didn't really have to learn a combo to do that like everybody else did. So like, but for some reason in 6, like people were just like mad salty about Nightmare, and so I did okay in that tournament. I think I went like 4-2 or 5-2, something like that. And but while I was playing my matches, like people were just like mad, like legitimately mad behind me. They're like, just like, look at this fucking guy's asshole playing Nightmare. The character's fucked up.
Jesus.
And I was like, damn, bro, like that's like it's not that serious. Like fuck. But so I had a Nightmare mirror with another guy, and so the crowd was like real mad about that because multiple Nightmare players getting far in the tournament, and it was like going okay, but he kept like winning the rounds, and because he would do the super, and I was just like I guess I'm gonna block that. I don't really know, like lots of stuff in this game just beats everything. I don't really get it yet, so I'm just gonna block, and I got hit, and he did it like a few, like probably like 3 times, and I lost a couple of games for it. And like the last time he hit me with it, I was just like, bro, what the fuck is that? Like I swear to God, I blocked that shit. And he just turned to me. He's like, oh yeah, it's unblockable if I hold it. And it's like, oh okay. And like I wasn't like trying to like play the dude like that. I was just like mad about getting hit. And I was like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So it comes down to last game, last round. And he throws it out again because he's hit me with it so many times. And it's like, the clutch moment. He's got to take the game to move on. And I remembered, like, the previous game, he was like, oh, it's unblockable. I'm like, he's going to go for the unblockable again. So I just sidestepped it, and it whiffed, and I killed him for it. And, like, he was, like, visibly upset. And I was kind of like, dude, like, never tell somebody that before the match is over. He's like, yeah, I know. Like, I didn't really mean to. It was just, like, when we sit around with my friends and play, doesn't somebody ask? Like, you tell them, So I just kind of... So both of us just kind of like did the thing where we're sitting around with our friends, which you shouldn't do in the tournament, but it worked out for me that time. And like I said, the crowd was like unhappy about Nightmare players moving on. It was pretty fun.
God, that shit sounds good as hell.
I
love that though. It's like, hey, it's like you shouldn't have told me that in tournament, bro. Should have told me that it's unblockable.
I felt bad because like it kind of felt like I like mind games like meta mind games the guy, and I didn't really mean to, but
Yeah.
secure the bag.
Lema, your story reminded me that like when I worked at GameStop, I was actually banned from all the fighting game tournaments because my boss didn't.
Really?
He didn't trust me to go in bracket against people. He was just like, "No, I know you play this like outside, so you're not allowed to participate." And I was like, "Oh, no."
Oh
I mean,
my god.
I would have thought it was just like I thought you were gonna like expect me. I thought the reason that I was gonna get hit with was because I was supposed to be working like those midnights and everything, not because he was worried that I would piss people off by playing them. Like, like for clarification, I'm not even that good or anything, but it's just he didn't want to risk people coming in and getting pissed off that someone at the store is like winning against randoms coming in.
Damn, that's so crazy to me. Because I actually worked at a like an independently owned retro game store for a while, and like we started running like fighting game tournaments and stuff like that. And my boss would be like, "Yeah, you should absolutely enter." Like, you kidding me? he's like, "You're really good. You should play people." But then it was cool because people would come back to the store, who I'd played in tournament and shit. We just start playing games together. Just kind of start shooting the shit, talking about games and everything else, and if anything, I feel like it was better that I was playing because now it's like more people would come to the store and would really recognize me, and we could start talking about shit and etc. It was also cool because we had like a few arcade cabinets. We also had like a MAME cabinet set up in the store, and every once in a while someone would come in and be like, it was just like me and them, like, "Hey, you want to play some fucking like Alpha 3 for a little bit?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right, let's play some fucking Alpha 3. That sounds good as hell." There was one of my coworkers, Raj, who we would play Alpha 3 a whole bunch. And then there was like two other guys that would come in every once in a while. We would play some games. And then my coworker Jen and I got really into Puzzle Fighter at one point. So whenever we were working, and we usually worked on Sundays together, like every Sunday. And I was like, "All right, there's no one in the store. It's dead. Like we have like nothing to do." And it's like, "All right, let's just like take $1 out of the register, and let's go play some fucking Puzzle Fighter." Because it's going right back into the store anyway. It's not a big deal. But yeah, we did that a whole fucking bunch. That shit ruled. I'm sorry you did not get to have a similar experience when you were working for GameStop, because that was like one of my favorite fucking things. It was like, all right, it's time to put on a tournament and then take money from them.
Collusion.
Thanks for the fucking venue fee, buddy. Now I'm gonna knock you the fuck out of the tournament. Oh fuck, that was good. That was a good time.
I mean, like, honestly, like, I'm actually kind of surprised when I'm even in Yace, to be honest, because my origin story is basically just I met Morgan first, and then Jarv, and then Jay. And I think that was everyone from Yace until, like, because I joined the Discord in, I want to say 2017, like December. And
Yeah.
I was like, when I first came in, I was honestly just like too shy to talk at all. So I didn't even I didn't say anything until like January after I came in. Or maybe it was like 2018. I can't remember. But I just wasn't talking like at all. And then after a little while, Snooze followed me. A few other people followed me from the Discord. And then honestly, I guess I just happened to put out good enough vibes because, like, I had never been to tournament, never been to a major, had, like, no real accomplishments of any kind under my belt or anything.
Wait, so how'd you meet Jay and Jarv?
Just randomly, I think, interacting with Morgan, really. Just hanging out on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I thought, like, in person. That's why I was like, damn, like, that's...
I actually did meet Jay in person before I joined Yace, and that was
really?
Yeah, that was in September. I met Morgan a long time ago now. We got ramen together. It was hella fun.
It was sick. It was actually super sick, and I'd like to do that again when the Rona has passed, and if we can find time.
Yeah. I think that that restaurant is actually might have been closed down entirely, which makes me sad.
Oh
No.
I will.
Because there's a lot of stuff in that part of the. So that restaurant is in like the middle of Little Korea in Maryland, and a lot of stuff there is just permanently gone now. So I'm hoping it's open, like fingers crossed, because it was one of my favorite ramen places.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But, I happened to meet Jay when I was on a trip to Detroit with my ex-wife back in September, and I didn't really know. I knew that he was tall. I didn't expect him to be taller than me.
Oh, he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a tall boy.
Yeah. So now I understand, like, he's been on Twitter complaining about being able to find tracksuits that fit. And I'm just, now I'm actually, like, fully sympathetic. It's like, I underestimated you before, King. Now I get it. But it was great. It was, you know, for me, it's just always kind of weird because it's like, not really sure what it was that anyone really saw, really. Because it's just, I'd never been to, like, even just a fucking GameStop tournament, you know? So it's just a bit of a different approach that I still don't quite understand to an extent, but I'm just happy to be here with y'all.
Yeah.
It's all about the vibes.
Exactly. We have the most premium vibes. Vibe
The
Smith.
waviest.
Give me your vibes.
You cannot handle my strongest vibes.
I got some premium backdoor shit. Shit just came in from international waters. That's right. It does not come from a country in particular. It came from the ocean. The ocean gave me these vibes.
Poseidon vibes.
Poseidon, give me your vibes.
So we're
That's
I
right.
wanna
This
get,
shit's coming at you from Atlantis. I got this Atlantis vibes.
wow.
I only just now
Yeah.
noticed that I've now officially gotten ramen with 2 different members of Yase, which means I now have to get ramen with all members of Yase at some point. Because
You
I
can
got
get Korean
ramen with
instead.
I got ramen with Jay too when I was in Detroit.
All right. Well, that's we
Did
have
you
to do.
go
it. We have
to
to have
Urban Ramen?
the big ramen hangout.
Actually, yeah, it was urban
Ramen.
ramen.
The place is hella
Ramen.
good. I want to go to the one in LA, but it's like far.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. We're coming up on an hour here. Should we start wrapping, or
We can start wrapping it up. Yeah. Unless if there's anything else that y'all want to talk about, I mean, feel free. We're just vibing.
there are intense vibes
We're always
happening here?
vibing.
There are some intense ass vibes, but I mean, it's good. I think these are the healing vibes we needed.
This is good. This is a good time.
I think we needed to just have a good, chill, crazy, not really very focused discussion on anything. They just needed to chat.
Yeah.
And I feel, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this as an episode, to kind of wrap this around into put a nice little bow on this episode. But yeah, this was a shitty weekend.
This is the first episode. This is the first episode where I was just casually drinking beer as I was talking.
Well, that's the
There you
strat.
go.
Strong vibes.
But
Yeah, I'm
this
like
weekend
so
sucks. It's
over
just-
like the greater FGC stuff. Like I don't even want to talk about
Yeah.
this week. Like I don't even care.
It's all bad. all
And
the way
honestly,
down.
like even though we all play fighting games, and to some extent that's like the common interest that brings us together, we don't have to necessarily be a part of the FGC, quote unquote, and whatever the hell that actually even means, right? But
Yeah,
I
my
don't know.
my fighting game life now is, well, not right now, but has been back to just like I show up at some guy's house and we like mash out games on the cab, and that's pretty much it. And like I kind of miss that, to be honest. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
yeah,
That'll probably be like some spot for other conversation, or like other serious time
Yeah.
talk. But let's not right now.
yeah.
There'll be other times for that. It's Lambo's birthday. We need to
it is my
basically-
birthday.
dance for the puppet master, tell stories, telling me
I mean,
stories.
all I wanted to do is have a good chill time with my friends and not talk about anything that's going to get us upset. And I feel like we did a good job of that.
All right, speak for yourself. I'm imagining losing you, Steve Harvey, and it sucks. Because you see, like, I only net play, so I don't know who that person is. For all I know, I've lost to Steve Harvey already.
Oh, you don't know who Steve Harvey? He's the dude who does The Price is Right. Or no, Family Feud.
Yeah, I know who Steve Harvey is, but I'm like...
Oh, I thought you said I didn't know.
No, because like a net play, it's all handles. I could have lost to Steve Harvey, but he's like, he's like one of those people that's just like always talking shit in Grand Blue Lobby. Like, I don't know, could be.
That's funny actually, because there was a discussion somewhere. I forget where this was. Maybe it was in the Ace Discord, but where somebody was talking about like who in the NBA plays Third Strike or whatever game, like somebody like those guys. Some of them play Street Fighter, and they're definitely playing online right now. It's like I could have lost to LeBron James on the internet, and I hate that fact.
Do you think Shaq played Third Strike like when it came out?
Probably. He seems like a guy who would play Third Strike.
He seems like a guy who would play Third Strike.
Not on a Japanese cab though.
No, he would play on like one of the he wouldn't be able to, like, no offense to Shaq, but he's a gigantic dude. He wouldn't be able to fit in a Japanese cab.
He is a large boy. It would be difficult. Like you'd have to sit on the floor.
Yeah. Or it would have to be on like some riser or something so we could play it while standing. But that kind of defeats the purpose.
Get like the axle, like the Ferrari axle lifter, but for your your Blast City cab.
All right. So
God, I wish I could. What would Shaq's arcade look like? Sorry, this is the last thing I have to say.
Please.
This is the last dumb question.
Please, birthday boy, let me go to sleep.
What would Shaquille O'Neal's arcade room look like?
Everything
exactly like a
books.
normal.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, what games would he have?
Alpha 3.
I want to say he'd have the TMT machine.
Ooh, TMNT, Simpsons, or X-Men though.
All three.
But he would have Time Crisis 2.
Yeah.
Shaq
Yeah.
definitely has. He definitely has a DDR cab, but it's like a third mix cab because he played it when it like first came to the U.S. and kind of fell off. But he just never got rid of it, so it's chilling in the corner, still running 45 FPS third mix.
It's probably like, nah, like Shaq probably has kids. He's probably like, no, like my kids might want to play it. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe I have a weird image in my mind of who Shaq is. I think.
I think you definitely do.
Do you? What if it was like Chuck E. Cheese, but it was Shaq instead of like an animatronic robot man? Or no, it was an animatronic Shaq, and he had, I don't know.
Why are you
Maybe just Chuck E. Cheese is replaced by a Robo Shaq, and then the rest of the band is still the same.
Shack E. Cheese.
He could call it Shaq's Shack. It's perfect.
It's that's better than the Michael Jordan Steakhouse in Michigan Avenue in Chicago.
Yeah, of course it is.
Why are you like this? Why is that even so funny?
Shaq's Shack.
It's just Shaq playing with a bunch of animatronics.
Yeah, and then he steps down off the stage after putting down whatever instrument he has, and then he challenges some kid to a 1st to 5 and Third Strike. And he's like, all right, if you beat me, you can have you have unlimited pizza for the rest of your life.
How many hours do you think Shaq has played Shaq Fu?
Oh, he probably played it for like 15 minutes for the photo op, and then he's like, "Fuck this shit. This shit's garbage. I'd rather play Mortal Kombat than play this."
I bet doing the mocap for that game was a weird experience.
Probably. I feel like everything about that game was a weird experience. Okay, we need to wrap this up before I get into another weird idea and then I drag you all down.
The birthday we are captive by the birthday boy, but please let us go. I have work tomorrow.
It's only 7:30
That's
here.
right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did start about like half an hour. Almost an hour later than usual.
Like an hour and a half later than usual.
Whoopsie. Bunch of technical problems. Anyway, so we should wrap it up now. Thank you so much for listening to this incredibly weird episode 5 of YASEcast. If you're still listening by now, you're an angel and a saint. DM me on Twitter, and I can give you a certificate of authenticity or something. I don't know. I am Lamo. You can find me at Lamo_SD on Twitter. I almost fucked up my own username. Morgan, where can the people find you?
I'm on Twitter and Twitch at fog_e.
Velius.
Find me on Twitter _Velius, Twitch Velius VS, and then fistofjustice.com.
Whoa. You did not tell us about that one before. Fists. I'm loading this up right now.
I have totally talked about this.
Maybe it was that episode that I wasn't on.
No, you were. Well, actually, may have been.
Okay. Anyway, Snooze, where can the people find you?
It is Snooze2718. And now I have a question. Do I have to add a link to Fists of Justice to the Yase homepage?
You do not. Absolutely not.
But I could.
You could. Before I change it to Evelius hubs. It's going to be the new the new thing.
I love it. Snooze, where can people find you again?
I had to look it up because I forgot what the number was, even though I specifically picked it for a reason. It's Snooze. It is Snooze2718.
I love that last week you also did the same thing. You're like, shit, wait, what's the number for it? And I think someone actually corrected you.
You know, the worst part is that it's just E. Like math E is 2.718 because I figured like there's no way I'll forget that. But it turns out.
I'm looking down at my keyboard incredibly confused. But it's okay. I don't need to understand everything. Again, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the YASEcast. Thank you for sticking through to the end. You're an absolute angel. We'll be back next week, and we'll be back to our regular conversation topics, our regular structure. But this week we need to take a break, and don't be afraid to do the same for yourselves. Have a good one.